when I first signed up for VBS, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I just kind of put my name down because I knew it worked with my schedule, and I figured I should probably help because I hadn't helped any VBS before. And so I just kind of signed up, said I could kind of do whatever they needed. But then Brenda asked me to be a small group leader. And so I was in charge of the 4th and 5th graders, and I followed them to all their classes, and I, led them I sat with them through large group worship, and then I led them through their small group prayer time and reflection and that sort of thing. And so I was there with them from 3 to 7:30 every day of VBS, and that was a very, very long time. But it was also really rewarding and lots of fun. And it was really cool to see how the kids grew from the beginning of the week just to the end. There was one kid who we had journals that we gave them all that they could write in reflections about what God was speaking to them. They could draw or doodle or write or journal or whatever they wanted to. And at first, they were just kind of drawing random things and not really thinking about what God was saying to them, not really wanting to think about it, if that makes sense. But there's one kid who, by the end of the 2 weeks, he was really journaling, like writing down specific events or specific emotions, and really being able to see how God was working in his life and how the truths from the Bible stories that Brenda was teaching really impacted him. And that was just crazy to see him mature so much. There's another student who, when you sat down, he would sit down right next to you, and was just always talking, and not always talking, but always talking about things that he was interested in or showing you things that he was working on, and you could just see that he just needed attention. And a lot of times it's easy to think that like you have to have training or you have to be good at working with kids or something like that, but he just wanted someone to listen to him and to tell him how important he was. And it was so great to see how all the adults were really affirming of all the kids, and how that really impacted the way that they saw themselves. But the watershed moment for me was there's this one student who I hadn't previously known before VBS, and they were very kind of quiet and reserved and didn't really, at first, a little bit shy. But then the second or third day, they felt comfortable to share with me a difficult situation that they were dealing with. And so I prayed with them and was following up with them and making sure they were okay. And then the second week, their parent came to me and was saying, "Hey, thank you so much for everything that you've done for my kid. I really appreciate it." And they told me that their child didn't know that anybody cared about them. And that was crazy to think that, because I've always had someone to talk to, like Brenda or Andy or my parents or friends or something. And so the idea that someone didn't have that was crazy. And that was also the moment where God was like, okay, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to listen to that kid and help them out. And it didn't really take much, but it had a really lasting impact. But it was just amazing to see how all the volunteers really impacted the kids from day to day, from, just giving them food and letting them have seconds to, helping them put on their wristbands, and how everybody really helped out the kids. And I'm super excited to see what we're going to do next in the neighborhood and with these families. And I think that the more people who get involved, the better it's going to be.